Today we're trying on a large amount of different Crispi models. I'm going to compare the different sizes with how they would feel to a normal tennis shoe and just kind of look at all the different details and specifications and see how they feel. First we got the Crispi Brickstall Pro.
One of the sexy boots.
And for reference, I'm usually a size 12 in tennis shoe.
I'm usually a size 9.5. That is a comfy boot.
Well, at least for me with this boot, super comfortable. I think it fits pretty true to size. It runs a little narrow for my taste. I kind of have wide feet, but I think it fits well. I think the width and the length is good. I think there is a little slippage in the heel cup. I didn't tie these super tight, but it does slip a little in the back. And they're pretty stiff, but they feel really comfy.
No, I'd agree with that. Minus the toe box, I actually feel really comfortable in my toe box on this one. I will agree on the heel though, for sure. I do feel a little bit of slippage, but I also think that a little bit better of a lace job probably would help with that for sure. As far as the stiffness goes, I mean, I don't like a super stiff boot, and this is probably right there at the
right on the line.
right of where I want to be. Probably not a lot more stiff than that.
Yeah.
But fit wise, I wouldn't size up at all. I wear 9.5. These are 9.5s, and I feel like they fit pretty perfect.
On to the next one. Next up, we got the Guide Non-Insulated.
Smells like fresh leather. So I did a little bit better job tying this one.
You want to start us off? I feel like you got more to say.
This was a boot I was really looking forward to try it on for because everyone raves about this boot. Super comfy. The width, the toe box, all of that stuff is, right on the money for me. I honestly feel like I could size down and still be pretty comfy and going down from a 9.5 to a 9. And maybe that would help me a little bit better on it, but I feel really sloppy in this boot and maybe accounting for not going down one size.
I'll agree where I feel like there's a good amount of room in here. My foot, it fits pretty good. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't size down or up. It's less stiff than the Brickstall Pro, in my opinion. But I really like the toe box and the width. There's still a little bit of heel slippage in the back.
Definitely comfy out of the box. Crispi standard.
Yeah.
Now we're going to step into one of the golden childs, the altitude. Huh.
What do you think of this one?
I like them. Kind of on the bubble. Size-wise, I feel like I would still stick a little bit true to size on this one. Toe box isn't super ideal for me. I do feel a little bit of pressure, kind of on that, like my pinky toe. Yeah, very interesting. Not due to lack of space. I think it's just due to my foot and, the curvature of the boot itself. Not stiff, or at least stiff one we've tried on. Most flexible so far, but I like it. I think I'd stay probably true to size as far as my size goes.
I mean, I'd agree. I feel like I wouldn't go down or up. The toe box is more narrow than the other ones we've tried on. I think that's just how the shoe is overall. I don't think that's my feet. I would like it a little more stiff, but that's okay. The heel feels really good as well.
10 out of 10. Another Brickstall model. This is the Mountain.
I like how these look a lot.
I really like these boots.
I like how they fit. I wouldn't say I would have to size down, but I'd be okay with going down half a size. I think they have a good amount of stiffness, but also a good amount of flex. Personally, I don't love the flex I can feel on the midsection when it hits the top of my foot. That's just me. Yeah,
for size-wise, I'm kind of right there on that line again. I could go down, but don't need to. I feel like true to size for me, this is money. Everything else about the boot, though, I'm in love with it already. Just having it on my foot this little bit. To your point about the wrinkle, I kind of felt it as soon as I stood up. I kind of felt a little bit of like I don't know exactly how to describe it, but just a little bit of uncomfortable, unique feeling when I first stood up. The more I moved around in it, though, it seemed to kind of dissipate and be less. But yeah, other than that, I love the toe box. I love the heel, the way that my foot slides in, super comfortable right out of the box. I'm gonna need to order a pair. I think I need a pair.
Brickstall EFX.
Yeah, the new guys. Like a glove.
Well, I don't have a ton specific to say about them. I think they fit really well with my normal size. I like the width of the toe box. I like how comfy they are. They're one of my favorites actually after trying them on.
They feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. As soon as I put them on, it just felt really comfortable right out of the box. Can't really complain about anything on it. I guess to nitpick a good boot, I could easily see myself going down, but me buying them, I'd probably buy a true size for myself. But again, another one of those boots that I'm right on that line where I feel like I can flirt the smaller size, but I feel like this is home. It's bending in the right places. My heel feels right. The width feels right. Everything feels right on the boot that I don't know if I would necessarily go down, but would probably entertain trying it.
Yeah. All right, we got the Brickstall Pro SF.
Got that fancy red. Very interesting boot. Stiffest boot I think we've tried on so far for sure. I myself am not a fan of a super stiff boot. If you are, this is a very comfortable stiff boot. So taking that away, you know that I'm not a big fan of a super stiff boot. I like the fit of this boot a lot. Definitely would stay true to size for me, even, you know, with the insulation, and super comfortable. Just not the one for me just because of the stiffness. Everything else feels right though. Heel cup, the width, toe box, all of that stuff feels really good for me.
I don't have much else to add. I totally agree. I would do the same size, mid stiff kind of boot guy. You know, I like a little flex, so it's too stiff for me, but it's not uncomfortable at all.
Definitely not.
Super comfortable.
Yeah, if you want a stiff boot that's still comfortable and has insulation, definitely would suggest looking into this boot. We got the Colorado 2s. See, I myself have the OG pair of Colorado, so I'm really interested to see if any differences. This is definitely kind of like a, if you rocked it like summer scouting, you know, running trail cameras,
yeah,
you know, something that's comfy, fairly light, like almost like probably what I'm going to regurgitate when we get to the Laponia. I really like it. I am a little bit leery about the toe box on it. I'm pretty tight on the toe box. Like I can feel my pinky toe rubbing while I was walking. And it makes me a little leery because when I first put it on, I was considering if I needed to size down or not. And if I size down, how much more narrow am I going to be?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be more comfy? I don't think I would size down on it. I think I'd stay true 9.5 on it.
I would agree. It's kind of the interesting part is they kind of are narrow in the toe box where I would size down a half a size. It kind of depends on the person. Like if you know your toes are wide, probably don't. But I feel comfortable sizing down. I think it's a pretty simple boot. We mentioned how it's not the most comfortable on the sole on the bottom of your foot, but like you said, if you're just trying to do a little adventure,
yeah,
they're perfect.
There's other boots I think I'd pick before this boot to be my all-around boot, especially if I was going to buy just one. But I do think that this boot has its purpose for sure.
Okay, we got the Nevada Not Insulated. I like how the toe box fits, but yeah, they do feel a little loose where sizing down would make them fit better, but I don't know if they'd be too tight on my toes.
Yeah. I definitely have room to spare, size down a half a size for sure. Kind of like the Colorado, it's not the most comfortable boot. If we're ranking them against each other, it wouldn't rank very high as far as like that, like, oh yeah, this is the right boot. Ranking it versus a bunch of other boots that I have worn, it's definitely still got that crispy comfort to it. I would size down a half a size, me personally, on this one.
I'm okay with sharing that opinion. If you have a really wide foot, maybe don't. Otherwise, yeah, you could go down half a size.
Ooh,
nice.
Going Laponia Light.
For me, I think they fit pretty good. I like the toe box a lot. I think they fit wider feet pretty well. I like the sole, like the bottom of the foot comfort is there. They're a little loose. You could probably go down half a size and be fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I'm on the line though where I feel like I could go down a half a size, but I also really like the 9.5 true to size. The fit's super comfy, lowest flex rated boot I think that Crispi makes. It's really comfortable, but there's a little bit of a break right on the top of my foot when I'm walking, and I don't know if that's just due to it being new. It's just a slight, I don't want to call it a pinch, but the leather kind of is folding down on top of my foot right there when I'm walking on it. But other than that, man, the super comfortable boot, again, could go either way for me. I'd probably stick with my 9.5.
Adding another note to what I said, the whole length of the boot, I feel like I have room, but maybe I wouldn't size down just because on this inside of my foot, kind of on that protrusion, it's hitting the side where I wouldn't want that any tighter. We'll go with true to size.
I like them.
The highly popular Laponia 3s.
Extremely popular. I really like this color. I love this boot. Super similar to the Laponia Lights that we just tried on. The wrinkle or the crease that I was talking about on that other pair, I actually didn't even feel it on this pair. They're a very similar boot. This one's got a taller shaft or ankle support on it. Super comfortable. I love everything about this boot. I think this is a perfect go-to boot for pretty much doing anything besides in the snow, I guess. No, I really like this boot. I'd say true to size. Heels perfect, toes perfect, and size. I actually feel a lot more comfortable staying true to size in this boot. I wouldn't change a thing. I'd go true, straight up, 9.5 Laponia.
I would agree. I'd go true to size. Super comfortable. For me, it's actually how the last boot felt for you, where I feel a little bit of a wrinkle when I walk. It's not a deal breaker at all. I like how they're higher and they feel like you have more support than the lights. That's just my preference. Great boot.
Alpine Pro.
Super orange.
I dig it. I like the look of this boot. Just look at the details though. Look at this. Wow.
I'm impressed. I think they're nice. Like we said, they're stiff, but they're comfy. Toe box at width fits very true to size. Good amount of support from the height of the boot.
I actually really like them. I'd stay true to size for myself. And as far as the stiffness goes, you know, when I first heard about this boot or first saw this boot coming out, I thought we were going to be pretty dang stiff. And for a guy, like I said earlier, I'm not a big stiff boot fan, but I'd really entertain these ones. Even for being a very stiff boot, they're really, really comfortable.
Last,
the Thor
II, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, not as vibrant.
I actually really like this boot. I wouldn't change the size. I really like the fit. I appreciate the extra width, even though they're not like super wide. One of the things that threw me off a little bit when I first stood up with them, in the heel, it kind of feels a little bit tight.
Very snug.
And at first I thought, oh, this thing's gonna be too tight on my foot. It's gonna be squeezing the back. But the more I was moving around on it, it's kind of more like a nice cup, a nice firm hold of your heel. This is probably the most comfortable boot we've tried on today as far as the heel goes for me.
Yeah, the most secure heel for sure. I would stay true to size, but if you don't like a snug boot, I think you could go up half the size with the heel. And for me, the toes actually are a little snug, but I would stay the same. I really like how comfy that part is. The sole isn't quite as comfy as other boots we've tried on, but it's solid. The heel, I think, makes it way different than the other ones, you know?
Very unique, and I don't really know how to describe it. Very, very comfortable for sure. This boot definitely made its way up the list a little bit for me for sure. Super comfortable, 100% 9.5. I wouldn't even consider trying on a lower or a bigger size on this for myself personally.
There you have it. All the Crispi models we could gather today to try on. You know, we've compared different models, sizing, and the feeling of all the boots, so hopefully this helps you out.